your home country in Britain has moved a long way back towards common sense.
Yeah.
The courts, the politicians, brave people like J.K. Rowling.
Oh, yes, that's a huge part of it.
A huge courage of Hilary Cass, Dr. Hilary Cass, in her very objective work around the appalling practices that were happening in the clinics. It really wasn't medicine, was it?
No, but I mean, I should just say your clinics are worse. Much worse.
Worse.
Much worse.
Than Tavistock.
Oh, much, much, much worse. The Tavistock is actually quite conservative.
Our clinics are worse than Tavistock.
Far worse.
But what happened to Tavistock was ridiculous.
The only reason you know that is because it's in the NHS, and the NHS is so publicly funded and there's so much oversight of it that it's a single system. There's much worse happening in your clinics.
The Keira Bell case, which kicked all of this off.
She was 18. She was 18 when she had a mastectomy. You've given mastectomies to younger kids than that. You give out a lot more puberty blockers. You're not tracking them. By international standards, the Tavistock was pretty conservative. The clinics in Canada and Australia and all over the US are much worse.
Well, it's worth remembering that Keira Bell, as a mature adult, appeared in court, as I understand it, and very clearly said that, and this is the point about improper medical practices, the consequences of what she was about to undertake were not properly explained to her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The things that came out in that hearing were remarkable. And
the Cass report absolutely confirmed the absolute inadequacy of the counselling, of the referring process, of the follow-up, of the examination of the actual results. And you're saying we're worse.
You're much worse. You're doing it to many more people. You're still doing it. You're doing it younger. You're not explaining any better. You've far less oversight. The thing is that the Tavistock got the global spotlight because of the way the NHS works, because it's entirely publicly funded, because of a few brave people like Keira. And I'm always amazed when I travel and people in places like Canada and the US say to me, oh, the Tavistock, that was a very bad clinic. And I'm like, no, it was pretty conservative.
When you can see that I'm genuinely amazed by that.
Oh, no, they're doing much worse here, I promise you. And they're still doing it.
Well, thank you for telling us. Thank you for being in a position to know. No,
we don't give puberty blockers in the UK at all anymore.
No, they're
unlawful.
Both sides of politics.
They're simply unlawful, including privately. You cannot get a prescription of puberty blockers in the UK for gender medicine. End of story.
And both sides of politics have agreed on this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the Starmer government is not a Conservative government by any means.
So it came in under the Conservative government, and Wes Streeting, our health minister, continued it and said very, very clearly and actually extended it. So, we have banned puberty blockers.
Well, that's a profound note to end on. Not for the first time, I have to say, I wonder why. What has happened in my own country that has made us so complacent and so willing to turn a blind eye to things that are really going to bite us? Because I'm convinced that you're absolutely right. In due course, this will be seen as a human rights issue of the first order. I suspect that further down the road there will be a lot of litigation flying.
Yeah.
And one thing I am aware of is that there are thinking bureaucrats in this country who are starting to think, this is going to blow up. How do we get politicians to understand just what the legal implications of all of this are going to be down the road?
I mean, if I can offer a bit of advice, I would say don't try to give people everything in one go. Nobody changes their mind from being listed, 40 reasons. People change their minds themselves. So the two things that really do convince people that there's something going on here are, one, the harms of puberty blockers, and two, that the suicide statistics are false. And there are now very good papers, very solid work on both of those, and well written with good summaries. So I would go in on that. If you're talking to somebody, I would say, look, this is a dangerous treatment pathway. There was never any evidence for it. We now know that it's harmful and that most children do well who aren't on this pathway. And secondly, the statistics about the suicide is false. And then when those are internalised, people can start to think, why am I believing the people who told me those things in the first place? And off you go. But you know what? I'd put up with the rest if they'd stop doing this to the kids. We could slow down. We could take a breath and we could say, yes, it's bad what's happening in women's sports. Yes, it's bad what's happening to women's rights, et cetera, et cetera. But I wouldn't feel this burning sense of urgency if it wasn't for the fact that they're doing this terrible thing to significant numbers of children, like right now. So that's the thing to fix first.